Um, Quickly, I want to just say a little bit about it, and then we would ask some questions, and they will help us to answer it. Okay. So, loyalty, to my understanding, is you sticking with someone through thick and thin. And in this current world that we are, staying loyal to a person is very difficult because you might not know the mind of the person for you to even say that you are sticking loyal to the person, like you want to be loyal to the person. So you, in every situation, through the person's up and down, you are with the person. Whatever that happens, that person is what who you are sticking with. That is what we are coming to talk about, and that is the little thing that I know about loyalty. So our first question would be, in a relationship, in any form of relationship at all, what are the values you expect to see in your partner prior to loyalty, to the topic that we are talking about? Like the values you would expect, and then the traits that you will be able to stand on to know that this person is loyal to me. So the first question will go to Mr. Answer.
Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to express my view on the topic on loyalty in relationship. First of all, to spot a loyal partner in a relationship, we should be able to consider some criteria because people say things they don't do. So first, we can be able to spot loyalty by first you check what the person says, check what the person do. If the person doesn't follow that criteria, then at the first point he has failed and then he has flopped in his loyalty because people see a lot of things that they don't do. And then also on a culture, on the contrary, you should be able to ask yourself that does the person prioritize the relationship? Can I depend on him? Does he take responsibility for his actions? And if all these criteria are like they are laid in place and then the person goes according to you, then we can regard this person to be very loyal. And I think this is one of the most basic things that we should see in a relationship to know that our partner is very loyal in case of when we want to create deep connections.
The mic straight to Miss Evelyn to also give us her opinion.
Okay. Aside what our brother said, okay, it's true. But sometimes, looking at the kind of people we meet in life, the person might appear to be a loyal person. He or she, he would try to portray some actions, maybe his words, action, attitude, the kind of vibes the person will bring on board might let you think that he or she he is loyal, but maybe he's not loyal. You can't predict.
She is saying that you cannot predict because there are so many people in this world who pretend to be what or who they are not. So it is sometimes difficult for you to tell if a person is loyal to you or not. But don't worry, I believe that at the end of the section, we are going to gain some knowledge about it, that no matter how secretive the person is about his or her loyalty, we would be able to, know if maybe the person that you are with is a loyal person or not. So, with the same question, let me ask Mr. David Arini about it.
Okay, thank you very much for the opportunity. And also, I want to say a very big thank you to viewers who are always watching, subscribing, and sharing and liking us. Say God richly bless you. Um, when we are looking for values in a relationship, I think loyalty is one of those values. And so, to spot a loyal person, it deals with that person's communication and how best the person is able to resolve issues, to attend to issues, especially issues that are temperamental, how the person delves into them, responds to them, will let you know how trustworthy that person is or how loyal that person is. So loyalty, like our sister said, cannot be predicted until there is a situation. Because at the first instance, everybody appears to be loyal. It's like you meet someone for the first time. If the person doesn't speak, he doesn't know if the person is a wise man or a foolish man. Sorry to say. So based on our interactions with our partners and the people we meet around day in, day out, we get to know how loyal the person is. Someone can be loyal, but the degree or the percentage is very less. It doesn't mean the person is not loyal. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And okay, so our next question would be what values, all right? What values should relationship be? What values should a relationship be built on? What are the values that when you are going into a relationship, any form of relationship at all, maybe one leading to marriage, what are the values, the key values that that relationship should be built on?
One is truthfulness. Also, dignity. I even said it in Chi. I was saying panidi. Two, I was saying we are liable. If you call on the person now, the person should be there. Availability, person should be there for you in terms of difficulties, whether hardship, in life, the things we go through. The person should be there, be a listening ears to support you, both parties.
So that is very good. Meka Hadika Krebia Fania Okaye or say some of the values are you should expect in your partner for you to actually run down the journey with him or her. No, at least you should see that the person is faithful. The person is faithful, trustworthy, supportive, and reliable. So, Mr. Ansa, can you just help us with?
I like the point my sister raised up, and I want to put on something small. So I believe that before marriage, it starts from a point from relationship to marriage, and I think the basic mood of connection between any person is first of all communication. So if you're able to communicate, we'll be able to express ourselves, and then we'll see each other side of the story. So if you're able to communicate, I'll tell you what I like, what makes me happy, so that you could be able to like give me that. But if you can't communicate, then that becomes the first problem. And also problem solving. Yeah, a lot of people like mostly divorce come out with the lack of problem solving. Like when something happens, they don't know how to solve it, so they just try to divide the vision. Like, and then that is what brings so many problems in our society these days. And then there should be flexibility and adaptation, because as you're in a relationship, the relationship grows. And when it's growing, someone will marry a slim lady, and then the person is growing up. The person gets fat, and then it'll be like, oh nah, like shit is not how I see. Like, so, but if there is flexibility and adaptation, you can adapt to situations. And then when you adapt, then that adaptation is going to bring these steps of performing. So you guys will be able to perform to fulfill a purpose. And then I think most problems that also happens in relationship and marriage is due to ignorance. Like we should invest into the relationship. If you want to become a doctor, you read books, you go to school. If you want to go into marriage, you have to read books, you have to learn, you have to know what is going wrong. So marriage is the only thing that they give you the certificate before you even get into it. But in every school, you receive your you receive your certificates after you finish. So I think and but if you don't want to build a strong relationship, you should be very careful with these two things. A lady can be loyal to a person just by attraction, just like Potiphar's wife. And a man, if you should put on a criteria of a man, men, men could be loyal to women if women start doing something for them. Like immediately their mind and things start to change. And then women could be loyal to men when they start saying some nice thing to them. So we should be careful of what we say to women because it could build some bonds. So as I was saying, uh, as a woman or as a lady who is not yet in relationship, you should be careful of what you are going to do for a man, because when you are doing it, it is generating some chemical reactions in his own mind and all that. man too, you should be careful of what you say to a woman because you are going to cause trouble. Like you need to start saying, start doing something for you. And last and foremost, I want to say love. Love is a law. It's a decision. It is not dealing with feelings. So mostly we want to put everything on love, 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 and that will be a problem. It's a law. Whether you feel it or not, you should continue. The fire should keep burning. Continue.
So Mr. Rini will help us.
Okay. Um, Values we look for in a relationship. Now, loyalty has a lot of components on its own. Now, there are three things that in a relationship we should look out for. Now, I realize everybody is talking about commitment and all that. Yes, it's true. One should be committed to a cause. So, if it's the relationship you are going into, you should be committed to the relationship. Now, you have to have faith. Now, the faith I'm talking about is not the kind of faith you have in God, but the faith you have in your fellow man. Now, this faith comes with an allegiance, it comes with devotion. Now, you cannot be devoted to someone every day of your life. You are not God. But it should be consistent. When we are putting it on a scale, at least you should be able to weigh 70%. So, trust is also your form of dedication. So, if you can't be there all the time, you should be there some of the time. Now, if I call you, like I was saying from the beginning, that if I call my partner and I tell her that, okay, meet me here at 3 a.m. and then at exactly 3 a.m. she's there and I'm not there, it doesn't mean I'm not loyal. Something has withheld me. Now, if that trust is there, if at other times I've been able to meet her at 1 a.m. continuously like 3 times, and now at 3 a.m. I wasn't able to meet up with her, and I give an excuse, she would understand based on previous records. So it is a progressive something. So most of the times when we are going into relationship, some of the values you should look out for is someone who is a good communicator, someone who can bear burdens. Now, faith, trust, belief, hope, and all those things, they are there. But on the practical side of a relationship, those things actually sometimes doesn't matter that much. Because if you are faithful, you will bear my burdens. That's why Jesus Christ even told his disciples, he told Peter, do you love me? Peter said yes. Then he said, take care of my flocks. So if you truly love someone, like I always say, love doesn't have conditions. Love doesn't have conditions. Love doesn't have conditions. If I tell you I love you because of this, I don't love you. Because the day that thing ceases to be there, the love ends. That is why the love of God for us is unconditional. There are no conditions. So when we are going into a relationship, let's look for people who are good communicators. When I say good communication, when there is an issue at home, someone comes to tell you, oh, I've seen your guy here with this lady, and even goes ahead to show you pictures. As a lady, you should be able to communicate well to your partner. Cover him up. Oh, this one, that is the niece. When you come home, you continue from there. Because it's at a stage. And I always say that the home I'm coming from is different from the home you are coming from. If I grew up beating my kid sisters at home, sure I'll beat you. You can't come and change that. So let's look for people. So when the lady is a good communicator, she would avoid that beatings. But if the lady is not a good communicator, she will always be beaten. So we the men, we are the firstborns of our ladies. And our ladies are also our first daughters. So we know how to coexist with each other. So to someone that you can mingle easily with, someone that is a good communicator, someone that is dedicated to the cause you guys are taking. Thank you.
Please, when you were talking, you said that love doesn't have condition. But when a guy meets a lady at a first appearance, oh, maybe this lady looks modest, maybe this lady is beautiful, then you draw closer to the lady, you talk a little bit, maybe you exchange contact, right? Sɛ moyɛ saa nneɛma no nyinaa wie a, maybe as time goes on, both of you will be on a talking stage and all that. And pair maybe traits be our son so as shown into no. Based on that, no, you may tend to like the person or even say that you love the person. So you were saying, say, love doesn't have condition. And aren't those things that I mentioned right now like kind of a condition? Because maybe Indiana first me draw to you. Maybe how our Okasa true being Indiana me draw close to you. Oh, aren't that conditions?
Okay, thank you. I would say they are not conditions, they are components of the relationship. Now, when I am coming into your life, from afar, I know the kind of lady I want, her physical appearance. So I like a slim lady. Now, when I see you coming from afar, that is exactly what I'm looking out for. Now, the values that I look out for, they are not conditions. They are not conditions. When you come, when we say something is a condition, it means without that thing. But if you come, okay, you come, I greet you, we begin talking, then I realize that you are the type of ladies that give cheeky answers. Now, if you are the one that I really want to be with, that is why it's a stage. So we start the relationship from there. Because I don't just go forward that very day and tell you, I love you. I can say, I love you, yes. And you may accept or not. The only time that I love you that I said at the first day becomes very stupid is when I tell you that I love you that very first day and the next minute you are on my bed. It is stupidity. But when I tell you I love you and you accept, and then along the line I realize that okasa munyede, okasa basa basa basa. Now it is my duty to groom you up. That is why we have the word bridegroom. To groom you up, bridesmaid, to make you up to the standard that I want. So in the relationship, if I am trying to twist things around and it is not twisting, you are free to move out. Now, the little foxes that we don't pay attention to in the relationship, they are those foxes that lead to divorce in the marriage. Do you understand? So, the fact that maybe the person is not a good communicator doesn't mean. Do you understand? But when someone tells you that Charlie, this girl, they love her more. The way they walk, they let her, they love her. Now, those things are likes. They are not love. They are things you like about the person. It doesn't mean it's a condition for love or something. No. They are likes. They can fade away. Sorry to say, you see the person with the breast standing. A time will come, it will fall off. Does it mean when it falls, the marriage comes to an end or the relationship comes to an end? No. But there are circumstances around it. There are red flags in every relationship. When you pay attention to them and you begin to draw your partner's consent to some of these things, if the person is willing to change, we are good to go. But we shouldn't go into the relationship or the marriage with the intention of going to change the person. It doesn't work that way. Thank you.
Okay. So practically rounding it up, no, or say like the values that you should expect, no. one should be someone who is a good communicator. Appearance speaks a lot, but when you start talking, then people would know the kind of caliber that you are. So when you're going in for a relationship, you need to also look at this trait in your partner. If that person is a good communicator, some people can speak just anyhow. And if you are a person that does not tolerate that, then along the relationship, it will generate a lot of problem. At the end, your relationship will not survive. And then someone too who can actually bear burdens. Because in this world we are not perfect and there are hints here and there, always problems will arise. How best to hold that and then to build on it and to be able to work it out, you should also look at that. Okay, Mr. Answer, I wanted to top up a little bit.
Okay, to what my brother said, I want to add one thing. Just like my sister was asking whether like all these criteria we've mentioned, isn't that conditions? Love should be unconditional. But I want to add one thing. That is, every relationship must have a purpose. Every relationship must have a purpose. If there is no goal, then there is nothing to achieve. You're all chasing the wind. And if there is a purpose, then we know what we are looking for in a relationship. Then we know where we are going to. And without that, it's just like fighting for a country with no cause. So I agree with my brother. And
What Pastor said, some I agree, but I want to ask a question. How can you groom someone? Because many say, "What means nipa? Nipa dear, born no more say, dear metie no sana metie. Oh yeah, me time is so there's no possibility for you to say, I say, oh ma kola konkonte, no si ompe konkonte. Now what she is wound. I don't did no be konkonte ni kwa bufu. But what I say, until you say, go groom you, how do you do it? Because nipa, yes, different. I said it earlier on, say, how you were brought up, no? It's not the same way I was brought up. Until we learn from each other, and they are what you have to have patience. That word patience is a broad word, a very broad. When you say ambrasia and I say a portreno for your partner, you can't do the things you want the person to do. For instance, I want to be in a relationship with someone. I want a person to go be a Christian, be a believer, you know. And if I know my question or new way, can I drag the person? Then I make me no way. Won't say, you be blown, maybe I perceive to achieve it, right? But me who would know? But okay, maybe he can be able to. If I made that down, I saw record the beginning a bad thing, but kakran. Who should be on no one saying, who to me can't change so gents up a copy. They know go through before say on no one son. Everything has a reason for you even meeting that person. To make us all send a panic copy. Ain't a kakanga crowd by show, but when the men know. So they be what my kakas, well, the men know is around the men, the men know. No, what to be a fridge. Finance to be a few man. Take a grand credit, everything is about gradual process. But I don't know how I'll know sick grooming, no. So if you can explain it further for us, a little bit further for us.
Okay, so I think you've answered the question you are asking me yourself. Yeah, you've answered the question yourself. But all the same, you see, why do we go to school? To go and learn, right? But learning actually doesn't start from school. Learning starts from home. That is why sometimes when we are talking to elderly people, say, "Na uni school nyansa so afie nyansa so uni bi." What you say? And when I say you are grooming someone, all I'm trying to say is you are training someone to become something. So, sorry to say this, you are married to a man who stays at a coastal area, okay? And those places, sorry to say, they don't have public toilets, it's not much. So most of them normally go to the riverside, the seaside, to ease themselves, the bushes and all that. Now, if you get married to such a lady or a man, or you are in a relationship with such a person, the only way you can get to know is when the person visits the washroom, doesn't flush. Do you understand? So when you see those things, when you begin to see those red flags, you call the person's attention. Charlie, this area, this is how we do it. This area, we don't play loud music. Maybe I don't like loud music. Bring it down a little. Do you understand? Okay. The partner you have gotten is one who was very wealthy. He goes to the clubs. He has had encounters with a lot of ladies. So when it comes to having sex, he always wants it in an adventurous way. Now you let that person do. You cannot change the person totally, but you are shaping the person to become what you want. So you tell, oh, sweetheart, okay, so let's do it this way. I don't have the strength to go this way. Let's do it this way. So said you will kind pro. And untimi nhyia obi enware ne saa da no. Untimi nhyia obi enware ne in 2-3 months time and 2 weeks time. What do you know about the person? In as much as say nipa ne kra no, yama 50,000 years kra untimi steady ni ewie. But there are petty things that happens on a daily basis. These are the things you can groom the person to come out from. And that one, nobody comes from outside to do it for you. If your husband is someone who, when he takes Pepsodent, he doesn't press it from the bottles, but from the middle. That one, you don't need a psychologist to come and teach him. Fine. When he does it, when you go, just straighten it. 2-3 times when he comes, his conscience will tell him something. Or tell him, oh, sweetheart, at the end of the day, better at the end of the what must say? Auntie, who shaping pan? Who shaping pan? I a beman a open because Obabia knew Obeka said Bema be Obama will be a penisa. They be who Bema, who pesa warren into Ukuna Musiona, who said Bema win a me pesa me pay. Oh, my brabum. Now, so who ben you are being said, Yoma Baku, you be a heading. It to see. Son, your man and a woman who be shipping Amana a free side in the course of trying and far is a red flag. Stay out.
You cannot stay back. You cannot stay back in a sense, please. I know of someone, okay, they are married. Why? And according to what you are saying, they are going through such, the lady will try to do everything possible, even confront the man. Oh, babe, please, let's do it this way. Let's do it this way. Say, hey, match up. Single room, I grew up with. Until then, I say, yeah, or banana the poor man or the big one will say, yeah, one the big sound. Such person is not a helpful person. On board. Oh, no, it's true. Don't disagree, it's true.
Are you trying to say, like, any marriage already, like a committed marriage already? So, like the traits or maybe the person's behavior towards certain things that you dislike, it has been consistent, right? So you don't want the relationship anymore. But here lies the case that both of you are married, so you can divorce or something. Like, I want to understand
You
this.
see, I'll get to where you are coming from, but let me address one thing. Now, I'm a married man, okay? I'm one fine gentleman, okay? When I come out, I'm a different person. When I'm at home, I'm a different person. Now when I come back from work, I can remove my safety boots at the hall. Go and remove my socks in the bedroom. you understand? Now, there are things that you cannot change about me, but there are things you can control about me. Now, if I do that, what my wife does is she goes round, pick the safety, picks the socks where she wants it to be. She goes and put it there. She has done it continuously for some time, so I realized that no, I shouldn't be doing it this way. That is me. So now when I come, I remove it outside, keep it there for some time for fresh air to go through them. Before, if it will come in, it comes in. Now, there are men that start removing their things even before they get into the house. They start changing from their car even before they get into the house. If you are married to such a man and you've done everything possible for the person to change and the person is not changing, you live by it. That is why you the man, that is why you the woman, you should marriage is not for small boys, it's for matured minds. So if the person is not changing, you change. Don't change the person, but you change. So it's a system. So if Ushana say otisemi, nipa me yima tare de ato ho, na me yimi mpamwa ne me socks de ato bibi fufura. Wo de ubenya no ho nto kwase. So my daughter like this, when I get back from work and she's around, when she studies me and she has realized that my yimi top she starts going around. Because that is what the mother has told her to do. So she will go around and start picking them up. Now, such a little girl, she's being groomed for tomorrow. So if she gets into a marriage that the husband is also behaving like the father, she knows how to go about it. So it's marriage is a warfare, and it's a school on its own. It's a warfare. If you, the woman, if you cannot even pray for yourself, you cannot pray for your husband and your kids. If you cannot control yourself, you can't control your tastes, your preferences. You cannot control that of your husband and your kids. Same applies to the men. Thank you.
I want to chip something inside, as what he said. So one thing I just want to point out is that as you are mentioning loyalty and all that, we should understand that loyalty means different things to different people. Love means different things to different people. And all of them is from the basic of how we are all brought up. So some people, just like how you put up, like they don't change. It's because of how they've been groomed up with. So within 90 days, you form something called a habit. And then after 90 days, if you want to stop it, it will take you like 5 years. So if if you really want to, well, now I've talked to the person is not changing, then therefore I'm leaving. Then I think you are not a problem solver. Like you should be able to solve problems. You are in there to solve problems. Jesus was a carpenter, so if something is spot about you, he fixed it. You see that. Now, if we don't want to adapt that carpenterization, let me just put this English into our relationship, then we'll just leave everything broken. And then our children are watching. We are role models. The children will be watching it. People are watching it, and then it is going to generate something, and then that one is also going to be transferred to another generation. So we should be careful of how we demonstrate things. That you are doing it, people are watching. Someone is telling you this is not good. Do this, do that. If you think that is your mind, you don't want to change, then I think this one there is nothing we can do for you.
So then, based on all that we have said, no, I have one more question. So,